Hi friends and my dear students. Today we'll discuss a very important topic called as variables, and in that two very important types of variables are there, that is the instance variables and static variables, right? Now in instance variables and static variables, so we will discuss here today, that is the instance variables and static variable. What is the what we will call variables as an instance, and what we will call, which type of variables are called as static. First, here when I am writing, first it's an variable is of mainly two types. One is instance variable and the second one is static variable. So one is instance variable and the second one what we have is the static variable, right? Now what is instance variable, how to define any instance variable and how to define any static variable. I'll show you some things about this instance variable and static variables. Let's say when I am writing a class and the name of the class which I have written is the hello, fine. In this class hello, we are writing here, what is that we are writing now? A variable called as int a is equal to 10 I am writing here, right? Suppose one more variable I am declaring, int b is equal to 20 I am writing, fine. And static int of c is equal to I am writing as an 30 I am writing, fine. See, this is your class starting, means the name of a class, it's the name of a class. We have started this class and here we have ended this class, right? So these two variables what I have written here in the class, so these two variables a and b what I am writing here is called as instance variable, fine. And the variable which I am writing here with static keyword, just, and that should be directly inside class. In the class means it should be here, there should not be inside any method or in any block or anything else, right? So when I am writing static int c is equal to 30, so this I am calling it as an static, which one now? Variable. So a variable which is defined directly inside a class is called as instance variable, and the variable which is defined directly inside a class with static keyword is called as static variable. Is that clear now? Okay. One basic confusion I wanted to clear here, right? Suppose when I am writing any method, void of, suppose m1 method I am writing the return type of this method is in void, right? Inside this method, so see, even this method which is declared directly inside the class without any static keyword, so we can call this one as an instance method in a same manner, right? So here if suppose I am declaring one variable x is equal to 101, so what we will call this x variable as an, we will not call this one as an instance variable or static variable or anything, we will call this one simple as an, it is local, which one now? Variable. What is this now? It's a local variable, right? And first, when we talk about a keyword called as static, so here we cannot use it. Static int, suppose you wanted to use y is equal to 202, so we cannot use it. It is an illegal declaration. We cannot write it down here because static keyword is not allowed inside any local context. Clear? So that is what I was talking about, directly inside the class, and this is not directly inside the class. It is inside the method. So if it is inside the method, we are calling it as a local variable, done. And if it is directly inside the class, we are calling it as a Class level variable, okay, but it is an instance variable, and this method which we are writing as a static variable, right? Now similarly, when I am writing, what I am writing now, suppose we can write static void of m2 method also we are writing here, fine. When I am writing m2 method, so inside this also if I am declaring something variable like 101, so see, this variable we will never be calling it as a static variable or instance variable. Again it is a what? Local variable. It is what now? It is a local variable. And inside this static context itself, we cannot use any static keyword. We cannot write it even this one. So there is no question of declaring any static variable inside any local context, right? So this is an instance variable and static variable. Now I hope you understand what is the meaning of defining directly inside the class and defining inside any method or inside any local context. Is that okay? Now again, about these variables, what is the instance variables and what is the static variables? What is the behavior of these variables? We will see. Now suppose when I am writing these variables, see here, when I create variables, so inside these variables, the variable a and b which I am writing, right, the variable a and b which you are writing and c. So these variables when I wanted to access, so first variable a and b which we have and the variable static variable which we have, right. So in that case I am creating one object of class. So suppose first of all, say here, suppose we are writing another class we are writing. This class is the what now? It's in suppose JTC class I am writing, and inside this class I am writing here public static void main method. Inside that now string of arg I am writing here, done. So see, I am just talking about here this accessing of a static variable and instance variable outside the class, how we could access it. Now see, if it is a static variable, so we can access it directly by the name of a class. So the number one way to access the static variables is I am accessing here SOP of hello dot which one now? C. This is the first way to access the static variable, right? We can access the static variable in three different ways. The number one is with the name of class, directly by the name of class we are accessing with the name of class. So that's what the number one way which I am showing you to access the static variable. The second one way, which again when we are talking about with the, we can access a static variable h1 is equal to what now? Null. So see, it's a reference variable of which class? Class hello. Class hello reference variable is h1 which contains what now? Null. Anyhow we need to assign null. Why? Because it is an h1 is a local reference variable. So we must have to assign this h1 or null, because and now I am going to use here h1 dot, what I am going to use here now? H1 dot c. H1 dot c I am accessing. This is the second way to access the static variable. So the first one is this, and now the third way to access the static variable is create the object of a class hello h1 is equal to new of hello. You are creating the object of a class, and through this reference variable, let's say make it h2. So with this reference variable h2 dot c you can access it, right? This is the three different ways to access the static variables of a class outside the class, right? Now, whereas instance variable of a class can be accessed only in one way, that is, what is the one way of accessing the instance variable? Understand here. That is for the instance variable. So instance variable, what is that instance variable? Class. Inside class hello there is a variable a and variable b. This only could be accessed here. So when I am writing here, what is that now? hello h3 is equal to new of hello. I am creating the object of the class. You can access with the h2 also, but I am making it separate. So you are accessing variable SOP of h3 dot, which one now? A I am going to access. You can easily access it here, right? Now, so you can access it in only one way, that is by using the h3 dot A. Apart from, without using h3, you cannot access the variable A, or you can say without creating any object of class hello, you cannot access the which variable now? Instance variables of a class. Not only variables of a class, any instance member of a class, that could be either variable, it could be either method or anything what you are declaring directly inside a class. If it is instance properties of a class, so in order to access that instance properties, you must have to create the object of a class, and through that reference itself you can access. Whereas if any static properties is there, let it be either in static variable or static method, you can access in these three different ways any static properties of a class. So here just I have shown you how instance and static member of a class or variables of a class could be accessed outside the class. Again, now there are the many restrictions. Which is there while accessing the variables inside a class itself. There are the many restrictions, like suppose I will rub it out. I think it is clear to all of you, right? So I am explaining now what is the instance and static variable accessing problem within a class. Inside a class, which type of variable, where we can access and where we can't access, that all things now we are going to see. So now I will show you by writing the programs with the help of projector. Fine. So now I am using Eclipse to show you the very basic program that is related to the instance variable and static variable accessing and inside the class processing. So this I am closing it here. Now in this, now I will be now creating another project, or you can say here I am creating another project, that is Java project. In that, instance and static variable, right? I will make it finish out here. Now after doing this, now I will create one class, and you can give some package name here, and I am writing a class JTC. Now here this class JTC I am writing. So see here now again, I am writing one class hello. Now we see here int a I am writing is equal to 10, it is an instance variable. Again int b you are writing 20, it is an instance variable, and static int c is equal to 30 I am writing, this is also an instance variable, sorry, static variable. So here I will write one method called as void of m1 method. If we will talk about this method, m1 method, so m1 method is an instance method, and when I am writing again m2 void of m2 method, so this m2 method is what we are calling it as now, it is an static method. So I am writing one SOP like to display something on your console. So this is one instance method we are calling, and this is an static method. This is an instance variable and this is an static variable, right? Now see the variable instance, inside the instance method I wanted to access variable a, means instance and static variable I wanted to access, both of the variables I am accessing. Here now I am writing a. So see, since it is an instance variable, so we cannot access inside static context. Why we cannot access inside static context, that we will discuss later. So now a, and here I am writing c. So see, a and b, what we have seen is an instance variable which we cannot access directly inside static context, right? Whereas static variable c, it's a static variable, we can access it directly inside the static context, no issues. Now, when I talk about, or when we have seen, so there is a question. Question is what? That how instance and static variables are different in memory allocation process. I will tell you very clearly that for the instance variables, memory will be allocated number of times as many times we create the object for that class. Whereas for the static variable, memory could be allocated only once, that too at the time of loading the class. Again, there is another concept called as loading of a class. So the loading of a class could be done in a different manners, and different possible ways are there that we will be discussing in the subsequent tutorials. Again, here what we are going to do inside this now, suppose as I discussed, like since it is in static variable C, so static variable C I could access it directly by the name of a class. So see here, I will be showing you, see system.out.println, in that hello is the name of a class and .c I am accessing, right? We can access it. Whereas if I wanted to access hello.a, so we cannot access it. No, it is not okay. Why it is not okay? Why we cannot access it? Because with the name of class, we cannot access any instance variables. That is what we are doing here. So I will comment this line here. Okay. Now, one more point, it is not the topic, but I am adding, and I hope you will understand. Like the way it was a instance variable, the similar way we can access the static variable also, static method also. So I am writing hello.m2 method, which is in static method. So we can access it directly here also. I am commenting anyhow because you will get confused in the output. So here hello.c when I am writing again. What next I wanted to do is the next another way to access the instance static variable. So the you can say first way, right, to access the static variable. Second way to access the static variable is what? Now suppose I am writing here, what I am writing now in this? I am creating a reference variable of that corresponding class, and I am writing here. So see, now again in that h2 dot I am writing what now? See, I am writing here that I can access it, no issues at all. So hope this one and this one is clear to you, right? In the same manner, other static properties of a class could be accessed. Now, what next I wanted to do is the third way, which is a common way, and that could be applied to all. So like you create the object of a class that is new of hello, I am creating the object of a class hello, h3 is equal to new hello, I am creating object. In this manner, when I wanted to access it, so h3 dot I can access C, no doubt at all, but in a same manner we can access, and this is only the manner which by using which we can access the instance variable of a class, or else our instance variable of a class can't be accessed without creating the object of a class. If you wanted to access the instance variable of a class, so that is only the way that could be, you could create the object of a class, and with that object itself you can access it, right? So the accessing of an instance and static variable, I think I have shown you here, right? Many different possible ways are there to access the instance or static variables. So in a small tutorials like 10-15 minutes of videos, we can't discuss everything, right? So here what the possibility is there to discuss the things in a short term video, what I can discuss I have shown you here. Now things, see, again I am coming to a point like variable a and b, it is an instance variable, so we can't access it directly inside the static context. There is the way to access the instance variable inside the static context also, that we will discuss in a subsequent tutorials, right? Then again here, like say, now again I am running it. So when I am running it, next the some output which we are getting here, so you could see like the 3 times or 3 different ways we have accessed the instance static variables of a class, and in the last way we have accessed the instance variable of a class, right? Hope it is clear. Once again I will repeat, the static variables of a class will get memory only once, whereas instance variable of a class will get memory number of times, right. Now, when exactly memory will be allocated for the static variable of a class, that is your homework, you do it, right. So, further if you have any questions, let me know on this topic. Okay, thank you.